Hello, this is MattiAce, and I'd like to share with you some more gameplay from what earlier became the video Tank versus Infantry. At least ESFs got nerfed. This was by far my best rocket pod barrage during this gameplay. Unfortunately, this flight didn't last that long. So now if you did miss that earlier video, the link will be in the description. It's a mixture of Lightning and Prowler gameplay. So just to give you a little bit heads up of what I'm doing here is that I'm running an open platoon. Do that from time to time, and I started doing it again quite recently. It was something I used to do back in the days. Now some of the other Bling members are also in the platoon, but right now they are far too busy trolling around with their lock-on mosses than participating in the ground fight. So the upgrades I have on my max is charge fully upgraded, flak armor fully upgraded, and I have the dual Mercy as the weapons. Now the gameplay that you see me doing here is going to be only possible, as far as I know, with the TR and the MAX. I would suggest the blue shift for your MAX if you wanna do something similar to this as a VS. That's because the blue shift are similar in terms of accuracy to the Mercy, at least the most similar one, and they are the ones designed for mid-range engagements. Now for NC, I'm not really sure what choice you have for mid-range, but the shotguns of the NC Maxes are basically just better at close range and worse at range. And I've tried out the grinder a little bit with the default left arm shotgun, and they do fairly good damage up until about 30 or 40 meters, but other than that they are only strong at in choke points. The NC Max is of course always very good in any area where you are capturing bases, which makes it very strong where it matters. So I actually ran out of ammo here, and I'll cut out the resupply scene. Took a little while. Now when I started this gameplay we were defending in their excavation site, but we were able to turn that around into a push towards Quartz Ridge. Unfortunately I'm not very familiar with this area. It's not a particular part of Indar that I like. It's a little bit too open for my taste, and it is very easy to use these kind of campy weapons that well, I know a lot of people dislike, like the anti-vehicle turrets, and also all anti-air and lock-ons are very strong in these areas where there is no or very little environment that offers cover. Now the second generation anti-vehicle weapons was nerfed against infantry, which a lot of people appreciate, but aside from that I think maxes are just in general too strong. Now in any organized squad where you have a few engineers, a few medics, a couple of maxes, and the rest heavy assault, maybe an infiltrator, I think that the maxes have a tendency to just completely take over. And that's part of my balance issues that I consider from Performance Update 2, that they nerfed ESFs, but maxes and tanks are still as strong or even stronger than before. So this gameplay is from the 1st of January during the double XP, and I had a lot of crashes, and it made it really hard to organize the platoon. But this one push forward I had in 18 minutes 61 kills before I got killed myself. It seems that of course a lot of people who like maxes are perfectly okay with this. I think it's overpowered. And that is especially hard to understand for me, since SRE are quite active with all their balance changes. Some balance changes that are more than strange, I might add. So now some of the weaknesses when it comes to the maxes is that once you have chosen your loadout, you can be a little bit vulnerable to whatever that loadout is not meant for. And even though as long as you have a terminal you can switch loadout, making your max useful against any target, you may not always have that option. And another bit of a weakness that the people have pointed out is that the max is not very strong if you run around by yourself. It's definitely a teamwork unit, and it excels in bigger fights with a lot of people. So does that justify the strength of maxes and yeah, what you see me doing here? In my opinion it doesn't. I think they're overpowered, like I said, but that is of course a matter of opinion. There are quite effective ways of dealing with maxes. Unfortunately I think it's the problem is that it's really hard to keep them down once you've killed them, because they can just be revived and repaired again. So whether or not you agree or disagree with my opinions about maxes, whether or not you share my opinions about the ESF nerfs and the buffs to anti-air and lock-ons, I still hope you enjoyed the video, so thank you all for watching, and that's gonna have to be all. Bye for now.
Oh my god.
61 kills in 18 minutes.